Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother Canada updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is this monkey. But seriously, I have all of the spots are open for house guest of the day. So if you want to be that awesome person, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. You won't regret it. I know you guys want to see the monkey every day, but we just can't do that. Alright, so yesterday was crazy because Raul was like, oh, I'm so hungry. He freaking grabbed food from people's hands and ate it and then flipped his hair. And then Big Brother was like, you gonna be in isolation. So they were like, you can't be doing that. So yeah, he was in isolation in the backyard overnight. Big Brother was like, we're gonna throw you a bone. They give him some water, a bucket of slop, toothpaste and toothbrush, utensils, and a blanket. That sucks. I would just not eat. Where did he go to the bathroom? I'm not really sure where he went to the bathroom. But anyway, Kelsey, we're going to come back to Raul. Don't you worry. So Kelsey and Cass were chatting in the storage room, and they confirmed that they trust each other 100%, hundo P. And Kelsey was like, Cass, I really appreciate everything that you're doing for me, especially this week, because Cass is pretending to like Maddie and Ramsey. It's definitely helping Cass's game too. But Kelsey really appreciates it, and that helped her get Raul up on the block, so now she's staying this week. So Kelsey was then like, I gotta tell you something. I was talking to the brothers, and I was asking who they would put up this week if they won HOH this coming week, and they said maybe the wild cards. Uh-oh! So then they were like, well, we don't really think that they're actually gonna do that, but if they do, we would have the numbers to save Tim, so it's all good. Alright, so then a little while later, Kelsey and Jared were making a freaking cheat sheet to study. So they had Kelsey's makeup and some cardboard or something, and they were writing down the HOHs, the nominees, the power veto, and have-nots, etc., for each week so that they could study. Isn't this against the rules? I'm pretty sure in Big Brother you're not allowed to actually write things down. You can make little charts and stuff with candy, but you can't write things. So they were like, oh my god, we're so smart for doing this. Again, we'll come back to it. Alright, so Big Brother gave the house guests a Twitter mirror. I've seen these before. It looks like a mirror from the back, and then it's like a selfie situation. So they took so many selfies, but Raul was missing it. Oh! He probably would have loved it the most. But they were able to draw on them and write out all these tweets. And it seemed like they were having a pretty good time with it. Except for Nikki, who was not into it. The whole time she was making that face where she's like that kid who finds out that she's going to Disneyland or Disney World in the backseat of the car. And she's just like, it was like that. Amazing. Okay, let's check in with Raul. Okay, he was out in the backyard by himself, and for the longest time, he was bouncing up and down on this exercise ball, and oh my god, he was talking non-stop. He was telling all of these stories from his real life. I was just in awe watching this. How is it possible that he was talking even more to himself than he does when he's with other people? I mean, it was rapid fire, and then we went to this party, and my friend was like, what are we doing? And I was like, I don't know. And then, guys, this is what happened. He just would not even stop to breathe. It was insane. I was like, I couldn't look away. It was crazy. So it seemed to me like this was kind of his audition for a reality show. He was trying to get his own show by telling all these stories. But he was just going, it was nuts. It was so weird. So then, for a while, he was, after that was enough, he was just, yelling, ah! And then he was, howling like a wolf, oh! And they could hear him in the house, and they were just like, oh, there goes Raul again. So then, Cass and Joel were having a game chat in the pink bedroom, and Cass tells him what Kelsey was saying about how Phil was considering putting up Tim and Nikki if he wins HOH, and Joel confirmed this, because Phil did say that to Joel's face. He said it to his face. So Joel was like, yeah, he definitely said that. So Joel's like, the brothers are really starting to sketch me out right now. I don't know how much longer we can keep them around. So they're thinking that the bros could actually be working with Maddie and Ramsey this week. It's kind of been a rumor that's been circulating all week that the brothers made a deal with Maddie, and they're thinking it could actually be true. So all throughout this conversation, you hear freaking Raoul in the backyard, like, oh, it was so annoying, like, shut up. Alright, so back to the cheat sheet. Kelsey lets Jared know that Big Brother took away their cheat sheet, and Jared was like, why'd they do that? Why would they take that away? Because it's against the rules. It's called a cheat sheet because it's cheating on the sheet. So yeah, they took it away. Thank you. It's against the rules. So last night, the house guests were hanging out pretty much almost all together, except for freaking Wolf Raoul in the backyard. And they were talking about celebrity deaths and like all these conspiracy theories. And then Tim was trying to convince Big Brother that they should get alcohol because they were indirectly being punished for Raoul's mistake because they couldn't use the backyard since he was like on lockdown out there. So he was like, Big Brother, we should get booze because we're not breaking the rules. And he was like selling this to Big Brother, and guess what? It actually worked. And they got this alcohol after midnight, which like never happens. And the have-nots got to enjoy it, except for Wolf Raoul, of course. So this is where things get a little crazy. Nikki was already asleep in the have-not room. She's been going to bed. She usually goes to bed pretty early, but this week even more because she's a have-not. She's just like, ugh, ugh. So they did not end up waking her up for her vodka. I guess Kelsey went in there and was kind of like, Nikki, get up. Are you gonna get up? But it didn't wake her up. So, like, really? You've woken her up by accident so many times and you couldn't wake her up on purpose. So they were like, well, she's not getting up. They did end up saving some alcohol for her, but things got really crazy. I think Tim and Cass ended up drinking the vodka that they set aside for Nikki. And then they went into the storage room and proceeded to have a food fight. And I don't mean like a food fight that you see in movies where they're throwing like spaghetti and stuff. It was like Tim was picking up freaking melons and smashing them on the ground. Like cracking open. So all of the noise from that wakes up Nikki. She storms into the storage room. It's just like, what the F is going on in here? You woke me up. So she was pissed. And then she found out about the alcohol and she was really pissed. So she's like going off on Tim and Cass. She's like, it sounded like an earthquake. And she's talking about how it sounded like they were smashing like TVs and stuff. And you don't want to wake her up when she's sleeping. So she's going off on them. And she's like, you guys need to give me your portions next time we get vodka. And Tim is just like, oh, I'm not talking to you tonight. Blah. So then they let her know, like, Kelsey did try to wake you up. Nikki, wake up. So then Nikki goes and freaks out on Kelsey a little bit, and Kelsey's just like, I tried to wake you up. Blah. All right. So after that, Tim and Cass were still horsing around. So Tim is like, we should put nail polish remover in Nikki's cup so that it smells like alcohol. So he's like, pouring water in the cup, and then he pours some nail polish remover, and Cass is like, what are you doing? Like, if she drinks that could kill her, and then we'll be murderers, like, we can't do this. So she's telling him to dump it. He puts it in the fridge, in the storage room, and then they go back to the bedroom, and then Cass is like, no, like, seriously, we can't do this, like, we need to go dump that out, and Tim's like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? So it looks like they're going back to the storage room, but then I guess somebody is walking by, so they run back into the bedroom, and the feeds go black. I don't know what happened there, but I'm assuming Big Brother was like, get your asses in there and get that shit out of the fridge. I'm assuming they had to throw it away, because that would have been really bad. Okay, so this morning, the have-not restrictions ended for the week, which is early. So Maddie, who was not even a have-not, is like super pissed about it. She was like, I can't believe they got off early. When I was a have-not, I had to go like the full time and it sucked and blah, blah, blah. So she's like all pissy about that. And then Raoul got to come back inside the house at 10 a.m. Oh! All right, back to the game. So Tim and Jared were talking about the brothers this morning. And again, it comes up that Phil was saying that he would nominate the Internationals if he won HOH. So Jared's like, yeah, so what do you think about that? So Tim's just like, that's effed up. So Jared's like, yeah, I think the bros are coming after you. They're coming after me. So Tim is like, maybe this is the time. If one of us wins HOH, maybe we should make a move against the brothers. Strike before they come after us. So Tim ends up confronting Phil this morning, and he's like, so I hear you'd put up the Internationals. And Phil is just like, what? I never said that. What? I'm just a DJ. Ugh. So he's like denying it up and down. And he's telling Tim, like, I don't know what I would do if I won HOH. Yeah. So then the house guests were on an outdoor lockdown for most of this afternoon. There wasn't really much going on. It was pretty boring, feeds-wise, this afternoon. But then the feeds went off around, like, 4 o'clock. And they've been down for a little while, so I don't know what's going on there. But if it's anything important, we'll be talking about it tomorrow. And tomorrow is also eviction day. It looks pretty clear that Raul will be leaving us and joining Mitch and the jury. But what is this twist going to be that they're announcing on tonight's episode? Is that going to change anything? I don't know. Leave your guesses in the comments. And until tomorrow, much love.